Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome back to my series on what seeds you need to start each week in Zone 8. This week we have a pretty chill week. The only thing that you need to put outside is fennel. For me here in the upstate of South Carolina, my last frost date is April 10th. Go ahead and put your zip code into Google and figure out when your last frost date is, but it's probably very close to April 10th and somewhere like within that week. So hopefully you've been following along and we're gonna be off to a great start. For the spring season, all you have to do again is transplant your fennel outside. Everything else is waiting inside. That's your tomatoes, peppers, squashes, pumpkins, etc. All that you want to have inside. And it's a good time to go ahead and start hardening off those seedlings. So hardening off is a process where you basically are getting your seedlings used to being out in the sun and getting used to being outside. And what you want to do is start with 1 hour a day. Your seedlings are outside and gradually progress 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I add an hour every day, but I'm a little aggressive about it to the point where my seedlings are out all day long. And even overnight, if it's not going to get below 50 degrees, I will leave them out overnight so they can get used to those fluctuations in temperatures that they're not getting inside the house. And then when it comes time to plant out our tomatoes and peppers and all that, they will be ready to be outside and used to life on the outside, I guess we'll say. And that will stop your seedlings from getting any like really big shock that will delay their growth. So even if you don't do this, like you'll probably still get tomatoes and peppers and everything, but it's just going to be even later in the season. And why would you want to wait for that? But what I am going to be doing today on the like garden vlog part of things is planting all these potatoes that I have up here, as well as an extra bag of onions that I got. I was in Tractor Supply and this bag of 80 sets was $3. So, you know, you just can't beat that. You can't beat that. So I had to buy it. But I'm also gonna be planting all these potatoes up here. I have them on top of the fridge because it's pretty humid in here and pretty warm. And so they have started to sprout. As you can see, and so I know where to cut my potatoes. So I'll show you how to do all that. But you want to cut your potatoes where, like, if one potato has multiple sprouts, I'll cut that apart, and that way I have 2 seed potatoes instead of just one. So that's really exciting. Technically, you're supposed to let those like dry out, and I meant to do it early in the week, but I just forgot. So it's gonna be okay. I've read online like a bunch of people said like they cut their potatoes and then plant them directly and like everything's okay. Hopefully if you've gotten anything from this series is like, it's gonna be okay. You know, it's just gardening, or not just gardening. Obviously I love gardening, but there is lots of flexibility in it. And if you don't go exactly by the book, like things are gonna be all right. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and chop these potatoes up and get them ready to go outside, and then we'll get to planting. I'll probably also go ahead and sow those onions, and I might go ahead and sow some okra, more okra outside, because my okra in here has just not been doing well. I also got a bunch of asparagus starts. They're in the freezer. And I really want to find a permanent, like good permanent place to put them. I don't really want to put them in one of my raised beds because then it will always be asparagus, and I like to rotate. I don't know, my raised beds are kind of precious to me, so I don't want to put asparagus in there and like take one up forever. But I want to go ahead and get some asparagus beds started somewhere. So if you see a location in this video where asparagus bed would be good, let me know because I'll put that in. I'm probably not going to put it on the front side of the house because my husband likes to keep that very neat and organized. The backyard is where I can go free and crazy, as you've probably noticed. But he did let me plant some fruit bushes up there, so it's all good. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and get going on these potatoes. Other big news on the mini homestead this week is one of our chickens passed away, and I got some new chickens on Easter Sunday that are called Easter eggers. So that is really exciting, and I will roll the clip of when I first picked them up. Hello, I'm probably just throwing this clip into a different vlog, but I wanted to go ahead and bring the camera out here and show you the new chickens that I got. So you'll notice I've put the chickens into a different crate. That is because you want to keep chickens separate to make sure they don't have any diseases. Technically what I've read says you want to do that for 7 days. I'm not going to be able to do it that long because we're going to be going out of town. So hopefully the chickens will get kind of used to each other sooner than that, and we'll be able to combine them. But let me show you what we have got. So I have them just in our dog's crate. next to our other chickens so they can kind of basically meet each other, but through a way that they can't touch each other. And these are our 2 new chickens. They are both Easter eggers, which is why they have different patterns. Easter eggers are just actually a mix of breeds. So they can be different light, dark patterns. I actually think this front one, the black one, has a little bit of silver lace wine in it, which is nice because that's the breed that Wilma was before she passed. But these are the 2 new chickens. I am still looking for names for those girls. So if you have any ideas for names for the 2 new chickens, I like for them to start with an E because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing their names start as the same name as their breed. That's like Luann is a leghorn, for example. So if you have any good E names that you think would be good, and I like girl names for these hens, let me know. And I'm just realizing now that I never told you guys about what happened to Wilma. So Wilma unfortunately passed away this past week. It was very weird. Like the day before, she was happy running around. I gave them some time out just free ranging, and the next morning when I came out, she was just lying on her side dead, and there were no feathers anywhere. There wasn't any blood. It was very, very strange. And after talking to a lot of people and reading about it a lot online, I found out that I'm pretty sure she had a heart attack. Apparently silver lace Wyanets like Wilma are more prone to heart attacks, and that can just be a thing that happens. So I lost her. I wasn't sure what was wrong with her, so I did bury her. I mean, I guess technically I could have fed her to something, so just so, like, you know, I don't want her body to go to waste. But I did bury her because I wasn't sure if she had a disease or anything, and I wanted to, you know, get that away from the flock. And then I switched out their water, food, and cleaned out all their bedding and everything. Tried to really get everything super clean after that, even though I don't think it was any disease. I'm pretty sure it was just a heart attack, but better safe than sorry, you know. But I am really, you know, I'm sad to see Wilma go, but you gotta remember, if you're keeping livestock, you're gonna have dead stock. That is just part of life is death, unfortunately. And I'm actually okay. I was worried that I was gonna be really upset, but you know, that's just part of keeping livestock. And I'm really excited to add these 2 new Easter eggers to my flock. It's actually is Easter Day that I'm adding them. So it's, you know, it's definitely meant to be, I think. But this is the current setup from further away. I've got the Easter eggers are over there on the right side, and my chickens are still in their coop over here on the left, and I've given them food and water and grit and oyster shell and everything, so they're well taken care of over there, and they'll basically just stay like this for the next couple days, just to make sure that they don't have any diseases or anything. I'll just keep a close eye on them, which I can really do easily in that crate, and then soon I will introduce them. I'll probably put the crate inside the coop for a little bit, let them see each other that way after I've figured out whether they've got anything wrong with them. And then after that, it'll be the 4 of them together. There'll be 1 new flock. You want to do that with your flock because, like I said before in some of my other videos, chickens have a pecking order. And so if I just threw those chickens in with my chickens, they would get into a lot of fights, and like unnecessarily. If you kind of do this way kind of slowly where they can see each other and kind of get to know each other first, they still are going to fight a little bit. I'm figuring out their pecking order, but it's not going to be like super aggressive. You're not going to get any like chickens are hurt. So hopefully this all works out. Those are the new chickens. Let me know if you have any name ideas below. All right, while the chickens enjoy their little broccoli treat, I'll give you a little update. So the new ones are over in that corner over there. There's 1 gray one and there's 1 black one. And the gray one, I think I'm gonna name Buckbeak. If anyone has any ideas for the black chicken and a good name that kind of fits in the Harry Potter theme, let me know. I'm definitely a Harry Potter fan. Sorry about all the noise. My neighbors are cutting down a tree, which I do not understand why they are doing that. Those trees were providing us lots of like really nice privacy, and now we can see like all the houses in the neighborhood, but it's fine. They are getting along super well, and I definitely like the Harry Potter theme for them because, as you can see, they don't have the big red on top and bottom, and I feel like it makes them kind of look like magical creatures or something. So I like the Harry Potter theme for them. And actually with Easter eggers, like these are, they don't have the wattles, and that actually makes them more tolerant to colds. The wattles is what gets really cold. So if you live in a cold place, Easter eggers might be the breed for you, which is awesome because they lay like blue and green eggs, and I'll have to show you a couple of their eggs at the end of this vlog. But hey, let's go get back to potatoes. All right, so if you take a look at this potato, we've got 2 spots on it that are growing. So I'm just gonna cut that in half so each one has 1 spot. All right, I'm gonna be planting my potatoes in this first row right here. You have, you wanna get about 12 inches of spacing between your potatoes. So I'll plant one on this side and one on the other side and then go another 12 feet and plant again. You wanna plant your potatoes with the sprouts, these right here, facing upward. And so, like for example, this one would go into the ground like this. I think I'm gonna bury them just a little bit where that sprout's still popping up. And then I'm gonna put a layer of straw down covering this bed, some of my old chicken coop bedding. I'm gonna put that on top of this in this bed. You want potatoes to have super loose soil, which is why, you know, this row, and just put it down, it's super loose. It's gonna be good for these potatoes. I'll probably just put it on time lapse for you guys. I got a slight break in the tree cutting to get this message across. But yeah, so make sure you are transplanting your fennel this week and get anything like this into the ground, like potatoes that need to go in the ground before your last frost date. I'm actually a little late, but you know, it'll be okay. And that's all the information for today's video. Enjoy the rest of these time lapses, and I'll see you guys back here next week. Bye.